As we step further into the depths of Egypt's ancient story, we encounter a discovery that not only reshapes our view of preservation, but also challenges the way we perceive life and death in this civilization of antiquity. Tucked away on the quiet desert edges of the Nile Valley lies a collection of unusual interments, Murmuring marshland remains. Their state of preservation is so extraordinary that they appear to resist the very passage of centuries. These individuals, uncovered in damp, swamp-like regions resembling northern bogs, have been astonishingly conserved, shedding light on a forgotten chapter of Egyptian burial traditions. Unlike the well-known embalmed kings and nobles, these marsh bodies stand apart. Discovered primarily in areas such as the Delta, they were not preserved through conventional embalming methods, but rather by a natural process. The damp, oxygen-poor marshlands encased them, safeguarding their forms. In many cases, their skin, hair, and even fingernails remain intact, granting us a vivid glimpse into a world long gone. What makes them especially captivating is the haunting impression that they almost speak across millennia, sharing obscure aspects of Egyptian customs surrounding life and death. Most mainstream scholars interpret these remains as products of environmental preservation. Egypt's swamplands created a unique mixture: saturated soil, cool temperatures, and a lack of oxygen, all combining to halt decay. In effect, the marshes locked the bodies into an enduring stillness. The results are so striking that some corpses appear as though they might rise and walk once more. Similar phenomena are known in bogs across Europe and the Middle East, where natural chemicals and surrounding conditions create a protective shell around human remains. Yet, finding such bodies in Egypt, a land more commonly linked with arid deserts, raises perplexing questions. Why were people interred in these damp landscapes? How did they come to be buried in such watery, uncommon terrain? Egypt's wetlands were not ordinarily sites for elite burials. And yet, evidence reveals that some of the preserved belonged to individuals of wealth or prominence. Could this hint at a previously unrecognized burial custom, one that deliberately placed bodies within these watery, eerie settings, perhaps as a safeguard or as a passageway to the airlife? The truth remains uncertain. Some researchers propose that these burials were ritualistic, tied to spiritual or ceremonial practices. Water, especially the Nile, held immense sacred power for the Egyptians. Could these marshes have been regarded as enchanted grounds, a liminal place where the dead awaited divine guidance into the afterlife? Others speculate that the bog bodies were part of funerary rites intended to purify or transform the deceased before their ultimate resting place. A more speculative line of thought suggests these remains reflect a lost Egyptian knowledge of preservation, something surpassing traditional mummification. Perhaps they understood natural techniques of conservation that we have not yet rediscovered. Fringe theories even imagine the marsh burials as evidence of an advanced, forgotten civilization with secrets of preservation lost to time. More radical theories stretch into the extraordinary, proposing that the mystery may involve influences from beyond Earth. While highly speculative, these ideas attempt to explain the inexplicable nature of such preservation. Could ancient Egyptians have interacted with beings possessing superior knowledge of life-preserving methods? While controversial, these notions highlight the broader enigma. Why and how were these bodies so immaculately conserved? For all the debate, one central question lingers. Why place these bodies in marshes at all? And what beliefs about the afterlife led Egyptians to embrace such an unusual method? That these people were preserved naturally, without deliberate embalming, suggests a funerary system distinct from the recognized norms, perhaps one bound to particular regions or time periods within Egypt's vast history. As we study these remarkably intact figures, we are reminded that Egypt's mortuary traditions, like its history, still carry countless riddles. What was the true purpose of these watery burials? What beliefs and practices have slipped through history's grasp? We may never know with certainty. Yet, the murmuring marshland remains continue to call out, urging us to probe deeper into Egypt's past and search for the secrets still veiled beneath its deserts and wetlands. Within the mysterious realm of ancient Egypt, we encounter an artifact that, at first sight, may appear as nothing more than a ritual ornament. Yet, when examined more carefully, it reveals a much deeper and far more captivating significance. Within the mysterious realm of ancient Egypt, we encounter an artifact that, at first sight, may appear as nothing more than a ritual ornament. Yet, when examined more carefully, it reveals a much deeper and far more captivating significance. These are the Enchanted Rods of Guardianship, crafted with animal-shaped ends, unearthed in temples and tombs throughout the land of the Nile. Fashioned from wood, ivory, or bone, these objects were not created merely for decoration, but carried immense spiritual importance. They were believed to shield their owners from hostile forces and threatening spirits. Each wand was skillfully carved, often bearing the likeness of animals or divine figures at one or both extremities. The creatures depicted, frequently lions, jackals, or falcons, represented divine attributes and supernatural strength. The lion symbolized valor and might, often linked to the fierce goddess Sekhmet. The jackal corresponded to Anubis, the god of embalming and the afterlife, while the falcon embodied Horus, the sky deity, guardian of kingship and celestial realms. These rods were not merely emblems of authority. They also functioned as mystical instruments in ceremonies designed to defend souls against evil. To the Egyptians, existence was filled with unseen threats, spirits, demons, and dark forces that endangered both the living and the departed. Wands bearing these animal forms were thought to repel such dangers. Some examples even included inscriptions or invocations written in hieroglyphs or hieratic script, calling upon the gods or powerful spiritual entities for protection. These words might have been recited during rituals, activating the protective essence of the animals and deities engraved upon the wands. While scholars widely accept their role as protective charms, the exact manner of their use and the nature of the safeguard they offered still remain uncertain. Why did the Egyptians select these specific animals? What deeper symbolism was embedded within their carved features? Were these tools purely ceremonial, or might they also have served as personal amulets, or even as practical weapons of defense? One possible explanation lies in the Egyptians' profound symbolic connection to animals. They believed that animals embodied divine attributes and possessed magical properties that could be drawn upon for strength, protection, or healing. Sekhmet, the lion-headed goddess, for instance, embodied both destruction and restoration, a duality that reflected the Egyptians' complex relationship with the natural world. Perhaps the wands harnessed this dual energy, enabling both defense from harm and empowerment for the bearer. Other theories suggest these wands had a role in burial rituals. Ancient funerary customs often involved spells and practices intended to secure the deceased's safe passage into the afterlife. The rods may have acted as conduits, bridging the mortal and spiritual realms, shielding the soul from threats on its journey beyond. The mystery deepens further when one considers whether these wands were more than sacred objects. Some researchers suggest they may have belonged to an ancient body of knowledge yet to be understood, an esoteric tradition blending religion, magic, and perhaps even early science. The detailed animal motifs might conceal symbolic codes or forgotten ritual instructions. More speculative theories claim these wands may have represented a form of lost technology, designed to channel or direct spiritual or natural forces. Similar to how modern mystical practices imagine wands focusing energy, the Egyptians might have believed animal carvings resonated with unseen powers, allowing them to influence the physical and spiritual world. Though conjectural, this view points to the possibility of hidden knowledge embedded in these ancient artifacts. The animal-headed rods, with their intricate craftsmanship and aura of mystery, still captivate us today. While most agree they were guardians against harm, their deeper roles, how exactly they functioned, what forces they embodied, and what outcomes they were meant to secure, are questions yet unanswered. Were they merely ritual instruments? Or were they carriers of greater, forgotten powers? Could they represent the remnants of an ancient system of magic, or even a technology, long erased by time? The truth remains elusive. But as we continue to study them, these carved wands remind us of the countless mysteries sealed within Egypt's sacred relics. They whisper of knowledge yet unrevealed, urging us to ask, what secrets do they still contain? And what more might they teach us about the Egyptians' connection to both the material and the divine worlds?